lot more people that were going to come.
Yeah, everybody's kind of busy right now, maybe.
Mhm.
We'll have more for the next book because it looks like a great title.
All right, we're about to go live.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
How close does it have to be?
All right.
Are we ready? Oh, good morning, Trailblazers.
Yay. Okay, good morning, Trailblazers. Happy Wednesday. And we are here for our first book talk. We are talking about this book, if you want to zoom in on it real quick. And this book is called Capture the Flag by Kate Messner. It was a wonderful book, and this is our first book. It was chosen because of our Celebrate Freedom Week last month. So let's talk about Capture the Flag. We are here with Mrs. Keltner.
Morning. Hey, guys. Thanks for volunteering to come on Book Talk. First Book Talk of the year.
And let's go ahead and have you introduce yourself and tell us what class you're from.
My name is Caroline, and I'm in Miss Morris's class. My name is Simran, and I'm in Miss Coker's class. I'm Amelia, and I'm in Miss Edwards' class. I'm Lily, and I'm Miss Noel's class.
I'm Will, and I'm in Miss Bono's 5th grade class.
Thank you. And even though we're small in number today, we're going to have an awesome book talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many of you liked the book?
Thumbs up? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Because I really enjoyed this book. History is one of my favorite topics, and I really loved this book. How many of you have been to the Smithsonian Museum of American History? Anybody?
Anybody?
Okay. I
They'll
haven't
get to go
either.
there on their 8th grade trip when they go to Montfort.
Ooh,
They go to Washington,
okay.
D.C., so they can go then.
Something to look forward to.
Something, right.
Good. Well, on the sheet that I gave you, it has a link at the bottom for this for the museum, and it has the Star Spangled Banner site reference. So that might be something you want to go on and find. It's an interactive site, so you can find some cool things to go on for that. Okay. Well, let's talk about the book. Who would like to summarize the beginning of the book for us? Anybody? Anybody?
Will, you look like you're ready to jump right in there.
Tell us what the setting was. What's happening at the beginning of the book?
There were 5 people that went to the Smithsonian, and they were going on a behind-the-scenes tour, and they were going to steal the Star Spangled Banner.
Okay, so we are at the Smithsonian Museum of American History, and there is some kind of celebration going on, and there is some hanky-panky going on in the background, and the Star Spangled Banner was actually, do we want to say kidnapped? Taken, okay, taken without permission. Who are the characters in a book?
Lily?
Anna, Henry, Sinan. There was a boy named Sinan and his dog.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I remember, really.
Okay,
And Jose.
Yeah, that's right.
Jose, okay. Anybody else? What were the names of the other children there? We have Anna, we have Sinan,
I think we got every. Yeah.
we have Jose, and there was one other character. Does anybody remember? Do you remember?
Henry.
Henry, yes. I'm sorry, did you say Henry?
She did,
Okay,
she
I'm
did.
sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't hear you.
That's okay.
Okay, where were these children at the beginning of the story?
They were in an airport, and they met because Henry was looking for a charger for his game, and Anna took the last one.
Okay, so airports are very busy, and sometimes there aren't enough electrical outlets, so that's how they ended up meeting. Were they at the actual museum as well?
Simran?
Yes. What were they doing at the museum?
They were sitting on a bench, and Jose was reading his book,
Anna was taking down notes, and I think Henry was playing his game.
Yeah, so they were actually, their parents were actually involved in the event somehow, right? Okay. I thought this was important. How many stars did the flag have on it at that time when the Star Spangled Banner was written? Yes. How many flags did it have on it? Did it have 50 like we have today?
Miss Simone?
Neither.
Amelia?
It had 15 stars.
Yes, it only had 15 stars. And I also thought it was very important. It said something about the flaws on the flag. They restored this flag to a pristine condition. It wasn't totally restored. There were some flaws on it, and they thought that the flaws needed to stay there. They didn't fix everything. Does anybody know what happened to the rest of the flag that they did not restore? Will?
They put it in the caskets of the heroes that defended Fort Henry.
That's right.
They put
Yes.
parts of the flag.
Very good. Yeah. From the very important people that were in that battle.
Yes, so some of
Given to
those.
the widows to put in. Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
and some of those were preserved for historical purposes, so they did not restore the whole thing. The flaws became part of the history of the Star Spangled Banner, which I thought was really cool. I did not know that. That's something that I learned.
Okay. Do you want me to go to number
Yes.
4?
Mhm.
With such a heavy security system in place, why do you think the flag was so easily stolen? What were some of the mistakes, and what could have been in place to prevent them? Kind of a 3-part question. Caroline?
There were only supposed to be 4 men there, but another one snuck in, and when they were supposed to leave, one man stayed behind under the table.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What do you think could have been in place to prevent the flag from getting stolen?
A password to get out of the little hole.
Exactly. That was key. They had all these security systems to get in, so nobody could get into the flag, but once somebody was in, there was nothing preventing them from walking out, right? Let's see. Describe the characters. Anybody want to describe Anna for us first? Lily?
She's like brave, adventurous, sort of,
Yeah,
and she likes like to find stuff out. She's like a detective journalist.
And who was her dad?
Her dad was
What did he do? What was his position? Do you remember?
no.
Anybody can add to what Anna's dad did? Yes. Simran?
He was a senator.
He was a senator. Very good. All right. What about Jose? Can you describe Jose a little bit to our audience? Amelia? Oh, go ahead, Simran.
He likes to read his books, and he's always quoting things
Mm-hmm.
from different people.
Yeah, he had some great quotes. And what about Jose's parents? One of them had a pretty significant part in the story. His mom? What did his mom do?
Wasn't his mom started to fix the flag?
She was one of the restorers of the flag. Right. That was the significant parent in Jose's life. All right, Henry. What about Henry? How would you describe Henry? Anybody? Simra?
He really likes his game.
He is definitely involved in those video games, and we'll talk about more about the video games in just a little bit. Now, who were Henry's parents? What was the significance of Henry's parents? Anybody remember? No. Lily?
Wasn't it about like the silver jaguar? So she
Okay, we're getting there. Actually, let me change my question. Who in his family was significant to this story? Who was he staying with?
he was staying with his aunt.
Yes. Okay. So hold that thought about the silver jaguars. All right. And then we also met Sinan, right? Sinan. Okay. And he's an important character in the book. But how did all of these children meet? Caroline?
Well, first they didn't know each other when they were just sitting at the bench in the museum. But then Anna unplugged Henry's game that was charging to plug in her laptop, and then they all met. And then Jose pulled down his book and quoted Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
And where were they when they actually all made the connection that they had seen each other before? What's happening? Lily?
They met at the airport.
And
They
what's
didn't-
going on at the airport?
They had noticed that the flag was stolen.
Okay. But why are they all stuck at the airport? That's an important-
There was a snowstorm
Okay.
that had gone that would not stop.
Very good. Very good. And you mentioned this earlier, but what's the bond that really brought them all together? These are 3 or 4 random children kind of stuck in a snowstorm in the airport, but what is their true bond that they discover? Will?
Well, all their parents were part of the Silver Jaguar Society.
One of their parents, or the aunt, right? Henry's aunt. Very good. All right. And what exactly is the Silver Jaguar Society? Simra?
It's a society that helps, like, crimes and stuff,
Okay.
I guess.
It does. No, it does. Let's give 1 or 2 more details on that. Can you think of anything? What kind of crimes?
Crime's part of American history.
Yes. Caroline, can you maybe expand on that just a little bit?
Their art.
The artwork. So it's kind of the secret society that tracks down missing artwork or stolen artwork. Okay. Do you want to go ahead? One more comment, Amelia? Take over number 7.
And all the people in the Silver Jaguar Society are related to a famous artist or creator.
Mm-hmm. Very good. That's a key point. Do you all remember where it was originally started? The Silver Jaguar Society? Do you want to talk about that?
I will. I thought this was interesting too. The society actually started in Central America by those who wanted to protect treasures from the conquistadors. Do you remember who the conquistadors were? Yeah, with the gold. They were originally named for, and I'm not sure how to say that name.
Ixchel?
Ixchel.
Ixchel?
The Mayan goddess of creativity, and her symbol was a jaguar. And that's why all the players involved in this book have on, and in this society have on some kind of piece of jewelry that's in the shape of a silver jaguar.
All right, on to number 7.
Yes. What character did you most associate within the book? In the book, who did you associate with most? Was it the video game person or the journalist wannabe?
The
Lily?
reader.
I really connect with Anna because she's one of those adventurous journalists that like to write and to find stuff out.
How about you, Will? Who did you associate with?
Jose and Henry, because I like reading, but I also like to play video games.
Oh, great.
A little bit of both, huh? Very good.
Anybody else? Amelia?
Amelia?
I'm sort of a bit of all 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting. In what ways?
I love to read, and I always have these thick, heavy books with me wherever I go. And sometimes in my free time, I play video games, and I'm adventurous.
Do you have a backpack full of books like Jose did?
Most times.
Sometimes.
He's a good reader.
Simra, did you have a...
Sometimes my backpack weighs like. I guess I'm a Jose because I really like reading.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Jose, because I'm reading Harry Potter right now, and I've read 3 of them.
Wonderful.
Wow.
That's
Wow. Number 8.
Anna says that when something happens to America or American history, it's all of our Americans' responsibility. Do you agree with her? How did she... Go ahead, Amelia.
I agree with her because if in real life, if the flag was stolen, all Americans would want to get it back because it's a treasure, a piece of our history.
That's right. That's right. Now, you are saying treasure. What's the movie? Have you all seen any of those National Treasure movies that are similar? Some of the hands went up in our audience. Very good. Yes, it would be all of our responsibility to get that back. Anybody else have a comment about that? On that? Lily?
Well, I agree with Amelia because it's sort of like part of our life because America showed the flag represents all of America.
Exactly.
And what does that flag stand for? Does anybody know? Does anybody want to guess?
Freedom?
Exactly,
Freedom, yes.
exactly.
That's why Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Yes.
It's what kept him going when he was captured. Yes. All right. Will mentioned this earlier. You all like to play video games. How did video games play into the plot of this story? Simra? Oh, Amelia? Sorry. Why don't you go first?
Well, most of Henry's video games, they're about like solving crimes or stealing stuff, and that lets Henry and the others know like what could happen or what might happen by the video games.
That's right. Simra?
And
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
and there's also Henry's video games has a video camera, and if he didn't have his video game, then he couldn't take at the end of the book. He couldn't take a video of the Snickerbottom saying.
Snickerbottom.
He had a funny name,
right.
didn't he?
That was a great little twist in the plot, I thought. Does anybody want to comment that? Or Simra, do you want to go back to the video game, and the role it played in our story?
I do agree with Amelia, but I think that they solved the crime because of the video game, because the video game was like about like crimes and stuff. So Henry kind of tried to be a superhero and lead them, because Sinan got stuck in the luggage area.
Right.
And he kind of led them to the luggage area, and then they got out.
That was a pretty wild ride, I thought, in the book. Can you imagine? I just kept imagining kids like going down the conveyor belt of luggage and then falling over. That was a great part of the book. Now, we all know they all worked together to find the flag, but who do you think was most responsible for finding the flag? Caroline?
Anna, because she was thinking that maybe he had somebody in the airport had the flag, because everybody was kind of going everywhere, because everybody at the museum probably was going home.
Right, and that was an important
Yes, it
key
was.
part of the story, that they were all snowed in, so where would the robbers go with the flag? So that's why Anna thought it was at the airport. Good.
She had a lot of leadership skills.
She did.
Yes,
she
and
took
rounded up
charge.
everybody else. Yes, she did.
Anybody else?
Okay, if you could pick anybody, we're not going to give away the ending of the book for those of you who want to read the book, but please read it because it is very fascinating. But if you could pick anybody in history, who would you want to be related to? And before you answer that question, let's go back and talk and mention who they were all related to. Anna was related to,
Do you remember?
everybody, you can sit
Simmer?
together.
Paul Revere.
Paul
Paul
Revere,
Revere.
The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. You might want to look for that book.
Yes, and Jose was related to who? Does anybody
Jose.
remember? It was a lady.
Okay, they have to be either related to an important person in American history or an artist. So
Artist.
who was Jose related to? Do y'all remember the name?
Our audience knows.
Our audience knows. What do you know, Baylor?
I'm just gonna guess. It's like Leonardo da Vinci.
No. No, sir. Sorry.
Good guess, though.
Good guess. Okay. That is a famous artist.
Has anybody heard of Frida Kahlo? Yes,
You
Frida
might want
Kahlo.
to Google her and learn more about her artwork.
Yes, she was absolutely fascinating. And then Henry was related to, and I did not know anything about this person, but I'm definitely going to look her up.
Mm-hmm.
Henry was related to, does anybody remember? Okay. Grace Wisher, who helped sew the flag. And Sinan, his parents, I don't,
Yeah, they weren't in the secret society.
Right,
Right.
right.
They were just there. Oh, there was an interesting key word. How would you describe Sinan's parents? What was he being used as? What was Sinan carrying along with him throughout this adventure? Caroline?
His notepad that he carries I forgot what they're called. Figures of speech.
Figures of speech.
And he
okay.
puts it in the opposite meaning.
Exactly. Actually, Amelia
Can you zoom
is
in on
holding
that?
it up. He has this great notepad of figures of
in.
speech, funny sayings we have in English, which are hard to comprehend if you're learning the language sometimes. Okay. Cat out of the bag. It's not over till the fat cat sings, but that was not correct. It's fat lady. So, do you remember what his parents were how they were used in the story or how they were being described? Yes, Simra.
They were working with the orchestra, and Snickerbottom, when he was talking to the people who wanted to interview him, he said that the orchestra was suspects because he was actually the suspect, so he hid a part of the flag in one of the tuba cases.
But what was the term that Sinan put in his notebook? Amelia, do you remember? There's a vocabulary word I want you to learn today from this story because his whole family was part of. Does scapegoat sound familiar? Yeah. All right.
Okay, now we're going to go back to the question, and I'll see if I can find that picture. But we're going to go back to the question, and if you could pick anybody in history, who would you want to be related to, having to do with art, historical
Very
artworks?
good.
And what page is that?
85.
85. Okay.
It's a great way to
and
learn the
hold that
words.
up so they can zoom in on that. A scapegoat. And I thought it was a very clever way for him to remember those figures of speech.
Great way for kids to learn English sometimes.
Okay. Have you thought about it?
Amelia.
I thought about it last night. I would want to be related to Paul Revere too,
Oh.
because he did the midnight ride, warning everybody that the British were coming, and he risked his own life doing that. And he's really adventurous and stuff. And
Interesting. Very insightful. I like that
Yes.
answer. Anybody else think about it? No?
No.
Did you?
I actually have one.
I have one too.
I love Thomas Jefferson. He has just resonated with me my whole entire life. And Thomas Jefferson was an inventor. He was a past president. So I'm sure there's things there that would inspire everybody else.
Yeah.
How about
that's
you,
great.
Miss Hilton?
I had two. George Washington, the leader of the country. He was trailblazing, and starting the United States of America. So I thought that was interesting. I also thought I'd like to be Ronald Reagan's granddaughter. I thought it would be nice to have a little bit of Hollywood and the D.C. political atmosphere. And it was just a good time in history in the 80s. He was one of the presidents I looked up to, so I just thought that would be interesting.
connection.
We have some audience members here that would like to add anything. How about one? Aiden, who would you like to be in history?
Well, my dad is Panamanian, so he had like these pictures of this church that was made out of gold, and it was like burned down by this guy, like this pirate, and he was like looking for money. So
Aiden wants to be related to a pirate that burnt down a gold church in Panama. Okay, interesting, Aiden. Very good. All right. Well, hold those thoughts. You guys did a wonderful job participating. Any closing remarks, Ms. Grisinger?
Actually, I wanted to ask what you like best about the book. Is that something we can do really
Yeah.
quick?
We'll just go down the road. We'll start with Caroline.
I liked when they were in the baggage claim area. Well, when they were on the conveyor belts and they sprayed Snake Arm with hairspray and shampoo, and they put heart boxers on his head from Snickerbottom's bag.
That's right. That was a great
And you'll have to
scene.
read the book to find out who Snake Arm is.
Yes. Simra?
I like the part when they were in the baggage area, but they saw Sinan was hiding in the box, and then two men were talking, and then Anna tried to photograph them, and her camera fell.
I thought she for sure was going to get caught at that point, but you got to read the book to see what happens. All right, Amelia?
I liked it the second time they were in the baggage area. When they found out that Snake Arm was really on their side, and they found out that Snickerbottom was the real criminal. Also, the pictures that with the meanings.
The figures of speech? Yeah, you
Figures
did a
of
great
speech
job on those.
were really funny too.
Yes.
I liked when they were hurrying to Anna's gate. The gate, hurrying around the people and cutting through. When the boys were saying with the popsicle sticks hockey. That was so
That was a
fun.
good one. It was a very hurried part of the book, I thought. I could feel the energy there. Yes, go ahead.
I thought it was cool that no one knew that Henry had a camera on his video game. So when Snickerbottom wanted Anna's camera, Henry just started recording.
Yeah. Do video games have cameras? I don't even know. I didn't think so. I don't know. Some of them do? Okay, interesting.
Does yours have a camera on
Very
it,
good.
Amelia?
Cool.
My sister has a Leapster GS, and that has a recording device on
Just
it. It can
never
record
know when
Cool.
Big
videos
Brother's
and take
watching, right?
pictures, and you can
Okay.
make stuff.
Good. Awesome. One last comment, Caroline?
One time I was videoing my brother, and he said something really funny, and I forgot what it was, but he started he fell on the floor and started laughing.
And you had that on recording. Very good.
So you can make that personal connection. That's
Yeah.
really good.
right.
Thank you, students, for helping us with our book talk today. I hope you enjoyed the book. Our next book is going to be on November 12th. That's our next book talk. And the book selected, it was picked by a student. If you want to zoom in on that book, please. It's Abby Carnelia's One and Only Magical Power. So this looks like a fascinating book. We have all the copies checked out right now, but you can come put a hold on this book. So please do. We want more people for our book talk, but this was a fascinating group. So thank you,
Yeah.
students.
Great. Thank you. All right. Have a great day, Trailblazers. Keep reading.
Bye.